Hello, Carrots here, and welcome to Perfect Genetics Challenge, Generation 1, Episode 39. I was surprised to see Olivia voluntarily playing with one of the children. She's the founder, and as a result, she's got the dislikes children trait, and she's got the negative moodlet for interacting with a child. I've never noticed Olivia try to avoid children. She's often the first one there to pick them up when they're crying or do things with them and play with them, but she does get the negative moodlet, and that's the only effect I can see of having the dislikes children trait. And little Mary wouldn't even know she's got it because she's having a great time. And there's Chas, he's just fixed the computer. He is Gary's imaginary friend made real, and that's Prue. Prue is James's imaginary friend made real, and Chas and Prue have been romantic interests for a long time while they were teens. And now, I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend by now, but we're going to see quite a lot of this pair in this episode. The romance seems to be progressing quite smoothly. They're very happy together. If only Chas's phone would stop ringing. Dip kiss. They're going to be a fun couple to watch, and we're going to watch them very closely for a while, and then they'll move out and we probably won't see much of them after that. At the end of the previous episode, we had birthday parties, one for James and one for Prue. They're both aged up to young adult, and now it's time for everybody to rush off to City Hall for them to graduate. It's quite a large household these days, and we're having lots of birthdays because we're trying to get everybody up to the next level so we can start Generation 2. That's little Cindy there with the pink dress on walking around. She's still a teen. She'll be aging up probably in the next episode. Once she's aged up, then she'll be ready to graduate and get married and start having the babies for Generation 2 because she is the heir. So we've got James and Prue in their graduation robes heading off for City Hall so they can graduate. And I have no idea how they can all walk straight through that ice cream truck and then climb into the same little taxi. So off they go. Here comes a taxi and they're all going to jump out. We're directly opposite the festival grounds. I think that fairy standing in the grass is about to start having a protest, a very loud protest, while everybody else is trying to go into City Hall to enjoy the graduation. There she goes. She's about to climb up on her soapbox and start shouting and screaming at everybody who's just arrived to try to have a peaceful family event together to celebrate the aging up of two of their family members. And she's determined, going to make sure that they don't have any fun there at all, that they really don't enjoy their experience. What a shame. Prue and James have worked so hard to get to this graduation ceremony, and now there's somebody going to be shrieking a protest about them outside the whole time they're in there, undoubtedly, because she won't give up, I'm sure. I just hope that she doesn't gather a whole crowd to really drown out the graduation ceremony. It seemed to take forever with them getting into that building for the graduation ceremony, but eventually, after what seemed hours, they all managed to get in. There's about 20 Sims in this household at the moment. They haven't all arrived for the graduation ceremony. There's a couple of toddlers, I think, that's left at home. There's one more to go in and then everybody's there, and she's still having her protest. Oh no, she's over it now. She's given up. Thank goodness. They might have some chance of hearing themselves think at the ceremony. We'll catch up with them as they emerge. There goes little Sophie Rogers carrying a toddler, and I think that little toddler is a vampire. I think he might be her little brother. Time passed and lots of Sims wandered by, but nothing very exciting happened. And then it was the end of the ceremony. Everybody started emerging from City Hall. Here comes James. He has graduated. What's he going to do with his diploma? Oh, he's going to throw it. Yay! And Cindy? That'd be Trish. She's going to age up to young adult soon. And this would have to be Prue, who was James's imaginary friend made real, and she's just aged up, and she tossed her diploma as well. So that's it. Graduation for this little group is over. We can go back and continue with the adventure, which is in the beginning of this episode, is going to be all about Prue and Chas getting a bit to know each other and really deciding that it's time that they started their life together. It seemed generally agreed amongst the various members of the household that a party was required. So, since we had so many wishes for a party, we had one. Lots of locals turned up and brought food, and I added a few more interesting additions to their possessions, such as a chocolate fountain and a buffet And we even got a bar. It was used to satisfy Don's desire to learn the mixology skill. But Sophie Rogers arrived again. She just about lived at this house when she was a child. She used to come home after school and stay all week. We don't see so much of her now, just around town. She's a teen now. That's Zoe Durwood just turned up. I was originally thinking about matching her up with James, but then I changed my mind when I realised how evil she is. You often hear her evil cackle because she turns up here quite often after school. Eventually, one of the locals started playing guitar for tips. I thought, now that's a fun thing to do at a party. They did have music. Sitting on the table there was a portable hi-fi thing. And when I saw the local there playing for tips, I decided, well, we've got a magician and an acrobat in this household. Maybe they could perform for tips as well and really liven up the party. So that's what happened next. It looks like Gator Wolf and Werewolf just walked off the screen. He is another one who's often here for birthday parties and after-school activities. There's Gary, the magician, starting to perform for tips at his party. He is the eldest of Don and Olivia's children, and he's the one I made Donna for, but I haven't introduced Donna yet. This household is way too full of all these aliens. It's one of the little alien children of Don's just standing there. I think it might be Max, the third one. So everybody seems to be quite happily watching the magician perform. He's still got a lot to learn. He's not a very good magician yet. Some of the townies are heading off home. I wonder where he's going. The little imaginary friend made real, little Bart. He's just standing over there near the fence. Maybe he's just dancing to the music. That's Chas just standing there. He's the acrobat. I think it's more fun to watch the acrobat than the magician. That was Gator Wolf just heading off home. The werewolf heading off down the street. So there we go. Chas has started on his performing for trips. I just wish he decided to stand somewhere else. A bit hard to get a good view of him with him standing there facing the fence. Fortunately, it seems acrobats can put the fire in their hair out by just patting themselves on the head. Now he's trying to juggle something that's not on fire. That green flame, I was experimenting to see if it would speed up their skill gain, which is what was happening in Donna and her household. Everybody learned everything 2 or 3 times faster. Well, I did some reading and I've discovered that no, it's not supposed to. And in this save, it's not having any effect that I can see on their skill gain. However, if there's a green flame and they pull the lever of doom, then they get the hive mind for about 6 hours. And when they've got the hive mind activated, then anybody who's got it will gain their skills 2 to 3 times faster. So I'd say that in Donna's save, there was a little bug and it got them, everybody in the household thought it was the hive mind active, and they never ever got to pull the lever of doom as far as I could tell, and I never saw anybody with sparkling heads. So I'd say that it was a little bit of a bug, but not totally unrelated to the green flame. Everybody's getting tired. Just about time they went home. Miss Prue's gone over there to say goodbye to the guests and ask everybody to leave. And there they go. I think it was a pretty happy party. They all seemed to enjoy themselves. It wasn't a very swinging, loud, noisy party, but there was plenty happening. And that green flame attracts the townies as well. That's what it's there for, apparently. It is inviting all the neighbours to come in and play with the group science project. You don't get the skill gain, the faster skill gain, unless you have pulled the lever of doom while the green flame is there. We've got to get that gate shut before any more townies return to go and play with the green group science project. So here we go. We've got an alien abduction happening in the backyard. That looks like Bill being abducted this time. He's only recently aged up to young adult. He aged up just before James and Prue did. We saw him graduate in the previous episode. So there he goes. Let's hope he doesn't get pregnant. We don't have room for any more. We've got 3 young aliens already in the household. They're from Don's 3 alien pregnancies when he was abducted. Yeah, we're getting rid of all those extra townies so we can lock the gate, keep them out. Here's Bill coming back home again. He belongs in the household so he can get back through the gate. Yes, he belongs in the household so he can still go back inside through the gate. It's only locked to everybody who's not in the household. Well, everybody seems to have headed off home to bed. The night is still young for one couple. Prue and Chas have snuck off to the nearby Green Fun Park. There's 3 roller coasters on this park. I thought the park was closed for the night, but apparently this pair have found a way to get in. I wonder what they're going to get up to. They're on some sort of a romantic date. After a certain amount of kissing and cuddling and flirting, they headed off into the building that has the start and end point for the roller coasters. There's also a dance floor and a bar and lots of other entertainment. There's a restaurant in there as well, so who knows what they are about to get up to. They can't be much open at this hour of the night though. Oh, they've come down to the scary roller coaster. This is the one that's in the basement. There's all sorts of frightening things down here. Just the perfect spot for a couple on a romantic outing together at midnight. They obviously want to get scared out of their wits. And there they go. Have fun, little people. It'll be interesting to see how they go with this. It's just the beginning. There's all sorts of things for them to do and experience. There's a shark in that pool. Hope they get across safely. Lots of fire. Oh, down and up they go, and over the top and down again. And up and around and down. Oh, what was that? Pit monster. Shark. The end of the ride. It looks like Prue's got some water in her ears. At least she didn't throw up. They decided to have a little bit of an explore around. I don't know how they got into that area, but they did get in there and have a bit of a look around. And what does a pair of little Sims do when they've had a scary roller coaster ride? They go up to the restaurant in their swimwear and decide to order something to eat. Unfortunately, the kitchen's closed, so they don't get their food after all. And it's time to go home. Get a bit of sleep to prepare for the adventures of the next day. Back at home, there's a little bit of awkwardness going on between another romantic couple. This is Bill and Cindy. Now, Bill has aged up to young adult, and Cindy's still a teen, so there's really not much that could go on between them at this point, but they are destined to marry. She's the heir, and between them they're going to produce the next generation of Sims. And the complicating factor is Bill's recently been abducted and now he's getting fatter by the minute. I think there could be the first member of the second generation about to be born. And this was not expected. But it's gonna happen. Yes, Bill's pregnant with an alien. Wondering if this is going to be another screeching alien baby like the 3 that Don produced. I hope not. The Sims scattered all around the house, they've found chairs and different places to sit and read books that they need to learn skills and recipes and fishing baits. This is Cosmo. He's found a spot just near his bedroom door. I went looking for Don because he wasn't at home and he should have come home from work. And this is what I found him doing. He was behind the diner where he works, doing a bit of dumpster diving. I don't think he found anything very interesting, but he made an awful mess. I sent him home, and when he got there, in spite of being exhausted and needing sleep, he found the sink was broken, so he fixed it again. That sink breaks just about every day now. It's great that they've got themselves nice warm beds because it's very cold and wintry outside. Lots of snow. Fortunately, winter's nearly over. It only lasts a very short time in this world, just a 7-day winter. Less school-aged children and teens in the household now, but that's complicated things for the school bus because when the school bus arrives to pick them up to take them to school, sometimes there's a young adult heading off to work and the carpool is there where the bus used to stop out front of the house. So the children and teens have to run further to get on the bus some mornings. After the morning mayhem was over, Don decided to find himself a comfortable seat to sit and read Fishing Bait book. Don't know why he chose to sit out in the middle of the blizzard with his thin pyjamas on, but he did. Meanwhile, Olivia, also with books to read, has chosen a much more sensible spot in the warmth indoors. Out in the greenhouse, Chas and Bill were having a little chat. Chas doesn't have to go to work on a particular time. He's a magician. And Bill has joined the culinary career. He wants to be a celebrated 5-star chef. So he's not due to go to work for quite a while, sometime in the afternoon or the next day, before he needs to go back to work again. But they're having a little time quietly together under the money trees in the relative warmth of the greenhouse. Oh, look, Gary's there as well, playing in the sprinkler. And Prue's in the garden as well. She is trying to get to level 10 with her gardening skill. She needs to maximise 3 skills to achieve her lifetime wish. And I'd like her to get her lifetime wish before she moves out after her wedding. So we won't be having a wedding for Prue and Chas until after Prue has managed to get to level 10 in 3 different skills because she wants to be a Renaissance sim. And that's her secondary everyday outfit that she's wearing at the moment. We're back with Chas and Bill under the money trees. Lots of new money trees there just coming. Oh, look, baby's coming. What a spot to choose for the birth. To call him Carl, I think. Don't know why. Just seems like the right sort of name at the moment. He's going to be a friendly little chap. Let's hope he's not a screaming, terrible monster like Don's alien babies were. Here we go. Baby's arriving. It's exciting, isn't it? What are we going to get? A dear, sweet little thing or a screaming little monster? It's green anyway because it's an alien. And Bill's just a good little father. He starts to take care of his baby immediately. At least we've got plenty of empty cots in the nursery. So this is the first baby of the second generation. Wasn't expecting it to happen quite so soon. I thought that Bill and Cindy would be married before we started having babies in the second generation, but the game had other ideas. Cindy's still a teen. She's got to age up yet. Won't be happening in this episode. And then the game tossed another curved ball at me. Chas. He's got gardening skill of 10 and suddenly he gets an opportunity. Uncommonly good. Deliver 20 harvested items of excellent quality to the restaurant to learn how to plant some new interesting things. And there he is. He just emerged from the coffee house where he has delivered his harvestables and is now able to plant eggs and cheese. And now he's gone to the grocery store, which is attached to the diner where Olivia and Don and Bill all work in the culinary career, and he's bought some cheese and he's bought some eggs. Then he's come home to the greenhouse where he's planting his cheese and his eggs. Now, of course, this is part of an adventure chain which I like to try to complete, and I don't get it very often, and I don't want to move him out and lose it, but I want to get him out of here quickly to make room for the extra Sims to be in the household. So we got to move on to the next generation to wait and see what happens. Got a surprise message to tell me that Grumpy James had learned how to make a tragic clown snowman. Now, tragic clowns are not easy to make. You need to have a sim with specific traits, and they also need to be a bit depressed. So now that he's learned how to make one, I, of course, immediately told him to make another one. Carl's turning out to be a dream baby. He just lies there and waits patiently, gets fed when he's hungry, doesn't scream and shout and demand attention all the time, not like the other three. Here's Prue in her outdoor gear. She's still working on her gardening skill. She's nearly up to level 10, and once she's finished her gardening skill, we'll get her to go fishing. She's already got to level 10 in cooking, but she hasn't learnt many recipes yet, but I don't think I'll worry about getting her to read recipes unless she's hanging around waiting for Chas to complete something. Gary's in the magician career. He's not a very good magician, but he's trying, and he needs to organise another gig, so he's gone to audition with the proprietor at Performance Park to see if he can get a gig. And he manages to do well enough to be granted another gig there. He missed the first one, just didn't turn up for it. So this is his second attempt at getting a first gig done at Performance Park. You can go to the festival grounds now and perform for tips for a while to see if that will help get his skill up a bit. Unfortunately, his tricks seem to mostly fail, and he doesn't seem to be improving much with practice. Meanwhile, on the other side of the festival grounds, Chas has been quietly learning to ice skate, but it's time he did a bit of performing for tricks too. And he's an acrobat, and he seems to be having more success in improving in his skill base for his chosen career. So we will watch him do a bit of juggling for a few minutes and then move on. He's got a nice new outfit. I saw Gary's got a new outfit as well. It looks like Chas has decided to start his show off with a bit of mime before he does any juggling. Finally, he's getting a bit of an audience. I think it's about time he started juggling. The little dog there. Out come the juggling sticks or whatever they're called, and off he goes. Hasn't set his hair on fire yet. He was doing that a lot at the party the other night. Maybe he learnt a trick or two. Being quite acrobatic there. Oh well, I've seen enough juggling for the moment. We've got other things to do and not much time left before the end of the video. So we better go do the other things. Poor Gary. He's still failing in his tricks, but he keeps trying. Hopefully he'll get better. Oh look, he managed to do the roses that time, and they weren't all dead and falling to bits. So he has improved a little bit, but he does occasionally do it. He does occasionally get a good trick and get it right, but not often. He hasn't even managed to get himself an audience at this point, whereas Chas has been working on his acrobats performance for a lot less time than Gary has been doing his magician performance, and Chas has got himself quite an audience. Now he's got about 3 or 4 Sims watching him. Bill went out to collect the mail back at home, and he discovered that some distant aunt or uncle has sent little Carl a doll. So we've got another imaginary friend in the household. Hello, Gary's given up on his magician tricks and he's going to do a bit of snowboarding. Might as well use the facilities, I suppose, while it's winter. It'll soon be spring. It'll be a whole different festival lot. Ginger Cat is thinking, I spy with my little eye a birthday cake. I wonder whose birthday it's going to be. Let's get out of here before the crowd arrives, he thinks. Sims are arriving. There's Martin, waiting for whoever it is going to be having their birthday. Oh, look, Bill's carrying baby Carl. It looks like it's going to be Carl's birthday. He's going to become a toddler. He's got 1 candle on his cake. Bill's blowing out the candle. Let's hope it doesn't become an inferno because we've got it inside. Looks like it's safe. Yes, it was just a birthday cake, thank goodness. Now it's time for little Carl to spin into his toddler body. His doting daddy is standing guard while he transforms. Most Sims, when they put the baby down on the floor, seems to just scamper off and go and read a book or something similar. But Bill has stuck by his baby son. He's obviously going to be a very good father, which is good for Cindy, who's going to have his babies until I get an heir, somebody who's got the pinkish purple hair and eyes just like Olivia's got, and Cindy as well. They may have 1 child or they may have dozens. Only time will tell. That's the mystery of the challenge. I decided that Carl should have hair, so he's gone into stylist and been styled, given new clothes and new hairstyle. He has got the same mother as little Max. So Mary and Martin have got the same mother and the same father, whereas Don's the father, and the same alien as their mother. And Max had a different mother, but Don's his father. And now Bill's had little Carl, and Max and Carl have got the same mother. And the mothers drop in. We'll have to get them to meet their children officially at some point. Looks like Petal's decided she's going to sit out in the snow to eat Carl's cake. Talking about aliens and alien abductions, there's one happening right now, and that is Don. And I didn't remember anything about this one. It definitely happened. Don's been taken off by the aliens yet again. Let's hope he doesn't get pregnant this time. The last 3 times he got abducted, he came back pregnant. That's how we got Max, Mary and Martin. There he goes. Now, Chas has been thinking that it was time things started happening between him and Prue. So he's whispered in her ear and convinced her to come back to that scary roller coaster lot. And they've broken into it. They're not on the roller coaster. They're in the dark areas. There's a sarcophagus there that Prue is looking at. There's a ghostly light and some haunted sunflowers. I wonder what else they'll find down here. And why has Chas brought Prue into this scary location yet again? There's a scary looking building over there. I wonder if the rumours are true. I've heard rumours that there is a door of life and death down into this roller coaster. And Prue's gone and knocked on the door. What's she going to have happen to her? I hope she's jumped back. That's the pit monster from under the mat. She survived. Thank goodness. Why did you bring Prue down here? Chas? She could have died. The rumours must be true. That's the rumour that a sim who knocks on that door will die. But somehow Prue managed to survive. That was lucky. Great escape for Prue. This is some sort of a test or something, is it? It's a pretty silly test as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't have done it. You never can tell with Sims. Is Chas going to try and knock on the door? Haven't seen him go anywhere near it yet. Actually, poor Chas had been horrified to see Prue rush up to the door and knock on it. Apparently she hadn't heard the rumours. Chas had actually come down here to show how big and brave he was when he knocked on the door. So there it was. He went and did it, and he jumped back and survived. There's a story going around that the Grim Reaper lives behind that door. Some people say you can challenge the Grim Reaper to a guitar battle. Chas hadn't planned on doing that. It sounds a little bit more dangerous than just knocking on the door. But since Prue had gone and stolen his thunder by knocking on the door first, he was trying to now get up the courage to challenge the Grim Reaper. He has a nice shiny new guitar in his inventory. Let's see what happens. Of course, if Chas loses, he will die. The Grim Reaper will take him. But he's got a death flower. I wonder if that'll help. Of course, Prue's just wanting to get married. She doesn't want to go through all this fuss with challenging the Grim Reaper or of proving how brave either of them is. She's just standing there wondering how he came up with this bright idea of challenging the Grim Reaper of all people. Really, Chas, how stupid can you be? Chas was by this time absolutely full of complete terror, and that helped him with his performance. He played that guitar like his life depended on it, and it did. And of course Prue listened with terror in her heart as well, wondering what was going to happen. Would she still have her wonderful boyfriend? Would they ever be able to get married, or would she be a widow before she ever became a bride? But as she listened, she wondered where he learnt to play like that. She had never seen him playing the guitar, and he was really good. So she thought maybe there is hope. But she wasn't too sure about that Grim Reaper. He might be fantastic. Now Chas had finished his performance, and it was time for the Grim Reaper to play. And he's got flames coming out of his guitar, and Chas is there, almost wetting himself with terror. And as time passed, and he stayed alive, it was wonderful. The Grim Reaper, Chas won. He's alive, and the Grim Reaper's vanished. Oh, congratulations, this is fantastic. There could be a chance for a wedding after all. Prue doesn't have to worry about plan B. She's fortunate because she doesn't have a plan B. All of her hopes rely on Chas. But why is Chas still standing on the mat and he's thinking about a party? Surely he's not going to invite guests down here to this dark place. What's he going to try to do next? And that mat is dangerous. There's a pit monster living under it. Don't knock on that door, Chas. Fortunately, he's walked away from the door. Prue's trying to pretend that she's bored. She's really terrified. She doesn't know what he's going to do next. The stress is getting a bit much for her. He tries giving her a kiss, which worked. She wanted to kiss him back. There is romance still in their relationship after all, and I'm sure there's still more to come down here. They've got rid of the Grim Reaper. Presumably that house is empty now. Suddenly, the stress gets too much for Prue, and she turns around, and she just walks straight through that door, and they go into the house where the Grim Reaper lived. There's a bed, and a table, and chairs, and a kitchen. What are they going to do in here? What's Chas got on his mind? Looks like romance might be in the air. There's some flirting going on here, and some thinking and contemplation and flirting. What's going on? Oh, kissing. Lots of flirting. They got hearts, red hearts. More kissing. I think they're just getting over all the stress of what they've been through. They're very happy with each other. Oh, dip kiss. They do go well together. They have always done. Ever since they became real as teenagers, they have been a pair. It just happened. This was made real a long time before Prue was finally made real by James. But as soon as she made her appearance as a real sim instead of a doll, Chas just knew that she was the one for him, and he just went for her, and they developed a wonderful friendship together. Lots of kissing. Surely their relationship can't improve on what they've already got. All those plus friendships going off above their heads and the red hearts circling, and now it's massage time. Massage is a very romantic interaction for Sim. Oh, that feels good, she says. He's thinking about another kiss and whispering in her ear. What's he working up the courage to do? Something's afoot. Another little kiss. Come on, Chas, get to it. What is it? What are you trying to say to her? She's going along with everything you want to do. She obviously is happy to be with you. You're just scared, even after that challenge in the Grim Reaper and winning and all of that. Come on, you saw how she knocked on the door. Oh, he's going to do it. Down on one knee. She's just overcome with excitement. He's given her a beautiful diamond ring. She's so excited, so happy. Big hugs. So now they're engaged. The next thing is to plan the wedding. And I think that could be the end of the video. We've gone over to a tiny bit, but we'll have to check on Prue's dreams as we leave. So thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next episode. And don't forget to give it a like if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to be sure that you don't miss the next episode, which could just be a wedding. We'll see. So thank you for watching. Bye bye for now, and happy simming.